Good morning. It is 7:49 a.m. on Thursday, November 4th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I've been very slowly in the process of starting to try to get up. This is 5 more minutes. I'm angry. Mmm. That's my angry face. You want to know why I'm angry? Well, I'm angry because um oh right. I stayed up 90 minutes past my bedtime 2 nights in a row before last night. But then last night, I was responsible and I only stayed up half an hour past my bedtime. A whole hour earlier, and yet I still feel sleepy. What's up with that? Huh? Huh? Not fair. I'm being punished for going to bed an hour earlier than I used to be, and yet do I get any benefit for improvement? No. Actually, that's kind of a metaphor for our inability to deal with climate change, isn't it? Anyway, I actually read an interesting article yesterday. It was talking about various studies on sleep deprivation, specifically this idea that I think a lot of people have probably heard, which is that, I mean, we all know that suffering from sleep deprivation has a variety of effects, um, but most of them are sort of neurological, right? Like the effects that you suffer when you're sleep deprivation are mostly like in the brain, right? But it's been known for a long time that, at least in animal studies, because it would be pretty unethical to try to do this study with people. The truth is, like, enough sleep deprivation, you know, a, a, anything that goes with out sleep for long enough actually dies from that. But the question has always been, but why though? Like, what is it that happens? That, like, what is happening in the body that produces that? And there's some studies recently, apparently, that suggest that that piece of it is not something neurological at all, but rather that something that's happening in the digestive tract, where um, there's like an inflammation in the digestive tract of these animals that they're testing in this way, and that they had some flies that they were doing this test with, and they found that when they treated the flies with antioxidants to reduce the inflammation that was happening, the flies didn't die from the sleep deprivation, which seems interesting. But like, a lot of this is still just kind of highlights something, excuse me, that is sleep for something that is so critical to us. Like, we have to spend somewhere in the neighborhood of a third of every single day sleeping, right? So much of our lives is dependent on our sleep schedule, right? Like, we have to, everything gets oriented around that, and we sometimes think of it almost the other way, in the sense that the part we spend asleep, we're not really aware of. And so it's more a matter of, we think of the rest of the day, but it's just this huge chunk out of every day. And yet we still know so little about it. Like, we have a vague sense of certain things that our bodies seem to do during sleep, but none of them necessarily seem to be inherently something that could not happen at another time. Like, for example, why is it not enough to just sit and not move around? Like, why is it that doing something like sitting on the couch all day doesn't count? Why do we have to be unconscious? We don't really know that. There's a lot of things about the brain that are mysterious in that way. Like, it's kind of like it's kind of all of our everything, and yet, we are still largely in many ways limited to, well, when we poke the person in the brain right here, it seems to do a thing. And when we poke them over here, it does a different thing. Brains are weird. Sleep is weird. Oh, also, I'm still angry. Alright, I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.